Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a topic that I think hits close to home for many of us, the illusion of perfection on social media.
Absolutely.
We've been looking through quite a bit of material studies, personal stories, critiques, all about this online world we see.
Right.
And our goal today is really to cut through that perfect image, see what's behind it, and explore why that matters, why it matters to you.
Yeah, what's fascinating looking at these sources is just how common this experience is. It's not just you feeling it. It's this often unspoken pressure, isn't it, to
Yeah.
present this flawless life.
Definitely. Even when things are, maybe not so perfect behind the scenes.
Exactly. We're going to explore that gap, the online versus the real, and really dig into the effects it has on us.
Okay, so before we get personal, let's think about the scale. Some research we saw suggests like a huge chunk of what we see online?
Yeah, upwards of 80% in some cases, depending
Mm.
on the platform. That's content that's heavily curated, maybe even, fabricated.
Wow, 80%, that's a lot.
It is. It paints a picture.
So to make this real, let's talk about Pooja. Our sources introduce her and her Instagram, picture
The
perfect.
classic highlights reel where
Totally. Vacations, great makeup, parties, looks amazing. The kind of thing you scroll past and think, wow, I wish that were me.
hmm the material really highlights the other side of that coin for her.
Exactly. Behind that facade, loneliness, anxiety, constantly comparing herself to others.
And that raises a big question, doesn't it? How many people feel that same tension, that gap between the online you and the real you?
Right. And did the sources give a sense of like a tipping point for her or for others?
Well, they talk about that constant comparison
Yeah, Pooja mentioned feeling insecure, watching everyone's stories, just constantly feeling less than.
and that moment of realization, seeing someone else's perfect online life and thinking, hang on, that's fake.
Yeah, that clarity. But also, the sources mentioned getting kind of hooked.
Oh, definitely. One person explicitly said they felt addicted to likes and comments.
Addicted, that's a strong word.
It is, but the sources back it up. They talk about the psychology, the dopamine hits from likes, that variable reward system.
Ah, okay, so it's not just a feeling, it's actually biological.
Pretty much. It's a feedback loop that platforms can, well, leverage. It keeps you chasing that external validation.
Which really highlights the social pressure, especially, like you said, for younger generations, Gen Z.
Exactly. They've grown up immersed in this.
So we see stories like Pooja's, we understand the mechanisms. What about the deeper emotional cost? Self-worth.
Yeah, that's where the sources really go deep. Social comparison theory is huge here.
Meaning we compare our messy reality to their perfect highlights.
Precisely. And the algorithms often amplify this, showing us more of that idealized stuff because it gets engagement.
Which makes it harder to escape that self-doubt cycle.
Right. The sources link heavy use to things like body image issues, high rates of depression, just lower well-being overall. It's systemic.
But Pooja's story has a twist, right? A turning point.
So one day, she just deactivated her account.
Just like that.
Just like that. And she said, according to the sources, she felt free for the first time in months.
Wow, that phrase, log out and breathe. It sounds so simple, but
But it can be really hard.
Yep.
The sources acknowledge that, especially if your social life is deeply tied to these platforms.
so what's the alternative if completely logging off feels too drastic?
Well, the material explores other ideas, things like digital minimalism, being more intentional about your use.
Okay, like curating your feed differently.
Exactly. Following accounts that show more authenticity, maybe vulnerability, not just the polished stuff, being more active in what you consume.
Right. Recognizing that true value comes from, within, not just likes.
That's the core message. Discerning what's real, prioritizing your mental health. It's key.
It really does make you think, doesn't it? How much is performance? That journey from the real life, meticulously crafted.
That's real life. Yeah,
It can be freeing, but it's definitely a process.
indeed. And maybe that leads to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to reflect on. How often do you really, truly log out and breathe? Even for a bit. Step away from that digital front. Think about what that space might let you rediscover about yourself, about your own worth,
Yeah.
beyond the numbers.
Beyond the likes and comments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What could you gain by being maybe just a bit more present, both online and offline? Something to consider.